Hello! Today we're going to do all of my pocket tarot and oracles. If you hear any insane noises, we currently are having a windstorm. So that's what that is, because I'm sitting right by the window. Anyhow, I don't think you'll be able to hear it, but if you do, that's what it is. Let's get right into it. We're going to start with the pocket tarots, and then in the same video we're going to do the oracles. So, starting off, Halloween Tarot in a tin. I already showed this in my mass market tarots because I do have the full size as well, but this actually is the original one. I had, my sister got this for me for Christmas a few years ago now. And I love it. I really do like having both sizes because, of course, during the Halloween season, this is a go-to. And I like having this mini one because my other Halloween season decks are all full size. So this is the one that just comes in my bag everywhere throughout the whole, pretty much September and October. So I use this one at work or just whenever I'm feeling like it. And I love it. A classic tarot in a tin. Halloween Tarot. Alright, another one I already showed, because I have the full size as well, is the Ash Thorn. This is the, of course, pocket edition, and I love it so much. This version of the deck is, of course, smaller, but also on a bit thinner of cardstock, so this is one that I can easily riffle shuffle, and I really like it for that. I do still use my full size. I don't know, it really just depends on the mood of if I want the cards to be bigger or smaller and what I'm doing. But this one comes to work a lot with me. I love having this smaller option because, again, it's a bit easier for me to handle because I do have some tiny hands. So I can very easily shuffle this one, which I enjoy. So, that's the pocket Ash Thorn. Next, in this adorable Peggy bag, this might be my favorite one. Can we just take a moment? It's so cute. It's so cute. Is the linen edition of the Gentle Tarot, which is a pocket size as well. It's not the, there is like a tinned version that I think is more so labeled the pocket size, but this is a smaller size. I love this deck so much. I do actually have the original Kickstarter edition. I backed it on Kickstarter whenever it was on there. That's in the larger size, but I didn't show that in these videos because it's not one that's in use for me. I keep it because I really like it, but I do not use it. So, didn't seem like there was a reason to show it. Because this is my working deck. I like that this one is, I consider it to be a pocket size, but it's a larger pocket size. I like the linen it's on. It's easy to shuffle. It's just a fantastic deck. I have the full-size guidebook to use with it as well. And this is such a favorite, especially in the summertime. I really enjoy this deck. And actually, I'm kind of thinking about it because I just watched Lisa Papez's video on how she's doing her year ahead reading this year. And I totally want to do it. If you haven't seen that, go check it out because oh my gosh, what an exciting, fun idea. But I've been trying to think of decks I want to use that, of course, I feel like I'm going to get what I want out of it, but I have to be mindful that it's a deck that I won't really use otherwise for a whole year. And I'm kind of thinking, because I like how she picked out at least a tarot and an oracle, and I'm thinking I might do Song of the Grandmothers. And since I've got two versions of this deck, I think it could be really cool to get into that big guidebook. Anyway, besides the point, I like this deck, the Gentle Tarot. I think that could be, I'm enjoying that idea, because I'd love to really... I know this deck well, but I don't know, especially since getting that big guidebook, I just feel like there's so much more I can do with it. Anyways, let's keep rolling. The Venetian Tarot. Now this was an accidental pocket size buy. I got it on eBay because I totally fell in love with the artwork of this deck, seeing it in some Facebook group. But it is rather pricey to get new, so I kind of just saved a search on eBay, and this came up for a good price. Turns out definitely because it's the pocket size. I just didn't know. I didn't realize it was the pocket size. I have to say, while I like this deck, I feel like I'd prefer to have the larger size, because I just think there's so much to see in these cards that I'm not seeing super well. So I don't know, it's kind of like one of those where it's on my list to get the bigger size, but since I have this one, I always am slow to do things like that, because I'm like, how do I justify it? But I think if I got the larger size, I'd definitely rehome this edition, because I just know this one feels to me like it'd be better in a full size personally, but it's a gorgeous deck. I love the artwork in it. I really do. So that's one that I have in pocket size, but I'd like the full size. The Venetian Tarot. This next one is the Mouseboat Tarot. I love this deck so much. It's weird. It's a weird one. An odd little collage deck all about mice, but I love how it's these very much like field mice characters. There's something so cozy about it and just so fun. I love looking at the images. It's one that, it's definitely, I find it very difficult to pair this deck. I tend to kind of just use it on its own and not for any particular kinds of readings. I think this is one that just feels like fun to me. But I do really enjoy it whenever I do use it. I like taking this one to work with me a lot. But it's just a cute little deck. I love all the kittens that show up too. It's so fun. That is the Mouseboat Tarot. Okay, next is the Monst Tarot, the travel size. Now this is another one. So I guess I should say I am showing these decks together because I keep all of my pocket decks together in one basket. But I will say this one does not really stay in that basket, but I don't know, I put it here because it is technically a travel size. I wouldn't call it pocket, as you can tell just compared to the other ones being smaller on the screen. This one is a bit larger, and I really like this size of deck. This is an all-time favorite for me. I love this tarot. It comes out all the time. I think because it doesn't stay in the pocket basket, because this one just kind of, I don't know, it's always nearby. I just kind of keep it with me because I love it and use it all of the time. It's such a good deck. So that is the Monst Tarot. It's funny, I did have the full size, but I find that I kind of prefer this pocket size. Maybe because I can kind of riffle shuffle it. I don't know. The Niceta Choli. This is a true pocket size deck. I love these Lo Scarabeo mini decks. This is the only one I have, but I know the other ones, I'm pretty sure, come in this like cute two-piece box from what I've seen. And it really is. This is a tiny deck. I feel like this is one I should hold up. But I love the images in this. This one definitely fits as an inner child deck for me. A shadowy inner child deck, but inner child all the same. And I find that this is one that I will bring in the tarot meanings, but I tend to really focus in on what's happening with the artwork. And that's where I make the connection and get my readings from. This is one that I pretty much will only use for myself for readings that are just for me, because I don't know, again, since that's kind of how I read with it, it feels like I really need the background knowledge. Like how I know exactly how I'm going to connect to it. I feel like I'd have a hard time reading for it with someone else unless I knew them really well, but I don't know. It's a really beautiful deck. Beautiful artwork. Niceta Choli. I love having this pocket size of it because it makes it feel even more kind of inner child-esque. I love the backs too, they're so pretty. It's just cute, it's so cute. Ooh, this is a new one. I got the Light Seers Pocket Tarot in a tin. Hay House is doing these tin decks now too. And I've never had the Light Seers, so when this pocket came out, I really wanted to use it as the opportunity to try this one out. So we don't need to look at this one very long because I'm pretty sure we've all seen this 100 times already. But I love this pocket size. It's really great quality, shuffles so nicely. I'm really impressed by the, I don't know, just the manufacturing of it, I guess. Printing, whatever the words are. But I really enjoy this deck more than I thought I would. I still don't think I'd enjoy having the full size. I think having this very people-y for me and like modern kind of deck, it works better in this kind of small dose, but I love this one. It's really a good one. So that is the Light Seers Pocket. This next one is, ooh, this is one, okay. So this is the Anecdotes Tarot, which is one that was an indie deck and was printed on these really large cards. And I had it and really liked it, but I ended up gifting it to Sandy because she loves the, I'm not really remembering. The cards are based on a musical artist that I am not familiar with, but Sandy is a huge fan of. So I ended up giving that one to her. But the artist since has kind of uploaded the artwork that you can download yourself and print yourself. So what I did is I made it on this pocket size, and I also, the images don't have titles, so I added titles myself, and I love how this came out, and I love the smaller size of it, because the original deck it's probably like 5x7, I want to say. It's very big. But I really like this tarot, especially now that I've labeled it so I can kind of tell what's going on a bit easier. Joanna Newsom, that's who it is, just came to me. Anyway, this is one that I've had it for so long, and it's, I don't know, it hasn't come out to play very much, but I can tell it's gonna have a moment soon. I just know it. I've been taking it out recently, and I really like how it pairs with my Cottage Witch Oracle. And it's got this really awesome folk art feel that I love. Even just looking at the images, I love doing that. But it's so good. I really like this tarot. So, that is the Anecdotes Tarot. Next is the Little Monsters Tarot. Now this I know is very out of print. I just kind of lucked out with this one in one of the used Facebook groups. Someone was selling it for what I'm guessing was kind of the market price of it at the time, when this was, like, you could just readily buy this, but I've heard that this is coming out again. So if this is one you've been interested in, I would definitely, I can't think of the creator's name, but I would definitely look for their social media because I have heard that there's going to be a reprinting of this one, which is so exciting because it's such a cute deck. You can get the expanded guidebook, or I guess I should say the guidebook for it, on Amazon, and I love that guidebook so much. Of course, as you can tell, it's a black and white deck, which is not usually my thing, but I just love these characters so much, especially as the guidebook describes them, that this one really is just one I enjoy using. Even if I don't use it much, it is a pleasure every time I do. And actually, looking at this now, I'm kind of feeling like, ooh, I want to use this one more because I think it could be really cool with some oracles I've gotten in recently, like the Magic Cottage. So I'm going to leave that out to try. I think that'd be fun. But anyway, that is the little Monsters Tarot. Okay, next is the Teeny Tiny Tarot by Holly Audley. An absolute favorite of mine. I should just hold them up because they're all tiny in this. This is such a huge favorite. I love, this might be my favorite tower card. It's so good. But this is my go-to travel deck. Anytime I am going anywhere for an extended amount of time, this deck is always with me. And even if I don't use it while I am away, because I'll bring other decks if I can. I don't know, it's just I have to have this with me. It's like a safety blanket type thing. But I love the colors of this deck. I love just how it's pared down but not at the same time. I don't know, there's just really interesting things going on with this. Everything feels like it has a very specific purpose. It pulls on the RWS imagery in a really interesting way. I just love it. It's so good. If you haven't seen, Holly Audley does have a YouTube channel under her name. And she has a video where she goes through the cards and explains her idea behind it, and it's really cool to see that a lot of the cards actually incorporate a lot of things in her own home, symbols that are important to her, which I think is just so cool. I love this deck so much. So that is the Teeny Tiny Tarot. Okay, next we've got Tarot Siren. This is a cute little Marseille deck. This is one though, I don't know. I don't think I would ever see myself getting rid of this one, especially I do think this is unfortunately out of print now, I believe. I love the colors of it. However, the next deck I'm going to show I think has kind of outshined this one when it comes to pocket Marseille decks, and as of right now I don't really feel like I have a need for two pocket Marseille decks, but I don't know, I do love the artwork on this. I love the colors, and especially since I don't think I can easily get it again, I won't be hasty about this for sure. I'm just gonna hold on to this one, maybe see what happens next summer. Since I'm not really sure about the mermaid theme for myself, but I do have those two siren/mermaid oracles that I really love, so it could come out with those, but it's a really fun deck. I love the holographic backs. So that's Tarot Siren. Alright, and the next one that, as I was saying, has really stolen the show when it comes to pocket Marseille is the Squid Cake Monst Tarot. Oh my gosh, is this deck so good. The guidebook is amazing. It goes through and really explains the images and like how the pips are purposely placed, which is so helpful for someone who doesn't know tons about Monst as myself, but also, I mean, the color, this bubblegum pink on the sides is my favorite color ever. I love pink, and this specific shade of pink is my favorite. But this had such a moment for me this year. I love the artwork, the colors. It's the deck that made reading Monst really interesting to me. And now I've been able to branch off to other ones, but this one takes the total cake even still because I just think it's fun. I love the size of it. Again, the guidebook is so awesome. This is really such a fun deck. A definite showstopper from this past year. Like, look at that. It's so good. It's so good. And this is from Rockpool, one of their pocket size decks. So, that is the Squid Cake Monst Tarot. Next, we've got the Thoth Pocket Swiss Tarot deck. Now, this is from US Games. Maybe I did have the full size Thoth. I don't know why I thought. So I had a Thoth deck and then I rehomed it because I was like, I have no interest in it. Did not have interest in it at the time, where I should have just held on to it, clearly, because here we are again, and I'm intrigued. I just kind of want to know what's going on here, you know? But I thought I had the pocket the first time around, and I guess I didn't, because this is more pockety. It's smaller, but I like it. I like the smaller size of it. I mean... The reason being, because I think what kind of turned me off from this deck is just it has a very intense masculine energy to me, which I am not against, but the way it felt for this deck just made me uncomfortable, if that makes sense. And I don't really know much about Aleister Crowley. I know a bit from listening to what's that podcast called? It's such a funny one. It is I have to find out. Last podcast on the left does a series on Aleister Crowley, so that's all I really know. But from that series, didn't sound great. So maybe that's just what I'm feeling, but I like this pocket size because something about being able to be like, oh my gosh, it's so cute, really just mitigates that feeling for me. Because yes, is there a very intense masculine energy I feel still going on? For sure, except I can say it's cute. And I think that's fun. Something about it, I just like it. I like that I can do that. So, Thoth Tarot. I'm excited. I'm excited to learn this one, because I know nothing for the time being. Alright, last pocket tarot I have to show is the Way of the Panda Tarot. This is the baby. Way of the Baby Panda, I think it's called, but is this not so precious? I love this deck. Again, the extended guidebook is on Amazon and worth every penny, because each of these pandas have a whole name, personality, story. I love them so much. It feels like a whole group of panda guides you could put right in your pocket for whenever you need it. I tend to pull just one card from this deck because they really have so much personality that I don't know, pulling more than once, it feels like too many voices going on in a reading. So I tend to pull one, but it's, oh my gosh, I love this deck so much. Now I can, occasionally if I bring this to work, I'll use it just tarot meaning and I will pull multiple cards, but if I'm using the book, which most of the time I am, it's a single card draw, but the cardstock is beautiful, it shuffles so nicely. I love this one. That is the Way of the Panda Tarot, and that is my last pocket tarot, so I'm going to regroup for a second, get the oracles, and I'll be back. Okay, let's get into it. So, to start, I've been having a real pocket oracle moment, just to say. I just think they're fun. They've been so much fun lately. The Spirit Animal Pocket Oracle. This is another one I've been so curious about. Come on. Why am I struggling with these tins? I think probably because there's stuff. Yeah, I got something on it from my work bag. But these come with, I was able to compare with, I think my friend Rachel at work, she has the full size, and so I showed her this pocket with the book, and she says she's pretty sure everything is in that guidebook that is in the full size, except maybe images, but, you know, I don't really need those, because I have the card. But I really enjoy this one. This, again, I think I really like having in this pocket size, because I think it'd be a little bit too much for me going on if I had the full-size cards. But also, this could be a lie, but I'm pretty sure this is my only pocket-size animal deck. Which just feels like, since I love and use animal decks, especially oracles, so much, having a pocket size that I can easily bring with me, or I've been using the pocket oracles a lot in readings as a kind of secondary oracle to a larger size. It feels important that I have a pocket size animal deck, and this is the one, and I think it's really, really awesome. I love the key phrases. I love the artwork. It's a good one. So there's the Animal Spirit Pocket Oracle. Ooh, I love this next one. I'm having a moment with this one too. It is the Compendium of Constellations by Claire Goodchild. It is this pocket deck. First of all, the backs. How fun. That truly is a compendium of constellations. So we have pretty much all the constellations in this deck, if not all of them. I have no idea how many there are, but a lot. There's 88 constellation cards, 2 cluster cards. So we've got 90 cards in this little deck, and it's so good. So we get the title, the picture, and then the title of the constellation, and then they all have a keyword that are so awesome. This is such a great little oracle, and again, I love pulling this one in as kind of a secondary, almost like narrowing in the message from the full-size oracle. And when I say secondary, that's kind of what I mean, where I use a lot of times these pocket decks as narrowers. But the fun thing I've been doing with this deck lately is I got one of those star apps. Night Sky? What's it called? Yes, it's this app, Night Sky, if it'll load. And it shows, it's not going to be super accurate right now because you have to point it up to the sky, but it's got all the stars, and so what I've been doing is looking to see what is outside my window at the moment, whatever catches my eye first, picking out the constellation. I'm putting back the ones I already showed. Finding the constellation in this deck and doing a reading based on that, based on the keyword. I'll look up the story of it. it's just been so fun and such a fun way to learn more about all the different constellations. So I'm loving this one right now. That is the Compendium of Constellations. Okay, we're gonna show these two as a pair because they're the same deck, different colors. The Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle. I love this one. Both of these are the deluxe size, but even the deluxe is a playing card size, so still pocket. But there is a size smaller than this that I've never tried because I like this size, but I'm sure it's so super cute. So this is the normal coloring. This is the, I can't think of what it was called, but it's the blue one. Comes in a blue box. And I love this deck so much. It's just a really fun, how would I describe this? I don't know, it's like objects. It's kind of like Memento Mori, but also not. But I never find myself pulling any of these cards and being like, what is the message? I think the items in here are very straightforward and very easy to attach personal meaning to. So it works really, really well in that way. And I love having both of these colorings because, I don't know, I use them both pretty equally. It really depends on what I'm trying to match it with. But I feel like somehow having these two colorings, they fulfill the, what are the words I'm looking for? I can't think of the phrase I'm trying to say. But I've got everything I want to match this with covered, is kind of what I'm saying. And I love them. It's such a good Oracle deck. Highly recommend. That is the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle from Deviant Moon. Back in your bags you go. Okay. What next? What next? Ooh, let's look at this. This is the Mouseboat Oracle. I'm not sure. I'm just not sure about this one. However, I do love the chaos of it. Right out the gate with the backs. I mean, what's happening there? But this Oracle, while from the preview it looked like it was pretty much all going to be cards with keywords like this, it's not. Then we get like Neptune, the Eon, but then we have relaxation, knowledge, art. But then we have Ceres, the Devil's House, like water, fire, like I'm just not sure what the goal of this deck is, if I'm being honest. However, I do think it fits the whole world of Mouseboat so well because there is just this chaos to it. And it's almost, when I'm thinking about this deck or using this deck, I almost imagine it in the way of how a mouse would perceive the world, almost like Tale of Despero, where they're not understanding things in the same way that humans are meaning them to be used. You know what I mean? So I almost feel like I need to view it that way when I'm using it, kind of get into the mind of a mouse. So it's interesting. I'm not really sure about, it's so small that I'm like, I don't know why I would really rehome it. The only way I see myself rehoming it, if I decide I don't want to keep it, is I would just like give it to a friend or something. You know, it's one of those. But Mouseboat Oracle, it's an interesting one, that's for certain. Okay, let's do these two at the same time too. These are also Holly Audley decks, and do I have her other one in here? I do. Okay, I do. But these are her cemetery decks. So this is the Laurel Grove South Cemetery Elucidation deck, and this is the Bonaventure Cemetery Divination deck. So both of these are pocket-sized oracles themed around what Holly has found in those graveyards, which is so neat. So they have a bit of a similar energy, but also not, because they are themed around two different cemeteries. But I find the way they read is very similar. So having both, I tend to just kind of use them in a seasonal way. Like, which one I take out isn't really, that's all the choice is like, oh, which colors am I trying to match and what season is it? I tend to use this one here more so in the fall and winter because of the gray color, and then this one, the peach one, tends to be spring summer because it just tends to match the decks I'm using better. But I love both of them. They are such a great add to a reading. I think the artwork is beautiful. It's so interesting to look at and such a cool, and each of them you get a little pamphlet that explains what the symbols are. So yeah, I really like these. I am a Holly Audley super fan. So that's that. Those are her cemetery decks. And I guess while we are on the subject, let's just get her other oracle out. This is, what does she call these? The mini divvies. Mini divvies. So I do have the full box set that I keep together. And I kind of switch around which ones I'm using. Most of the time though, and what's in this is the Mini Divvy Ghosts, which is the first one that was out, which I love so much, and the Mini Divvy, I want to say like Curiosities, Cabinet of Curiosities, but that's what it's themed around. So I find that these two decks, you can mix them together because they all have the same backs, which you could do with all of them, but I find these two decks, one, just thematically work well together, but two, really work well with the way I use the mini divvy, which is a lot of the times as a, like I was saying before, as like a message narrower, or even as a card to pull to wrap up a reading, things of that sort. A clarifier, where the other mini divvies feel a bit more like they have a specific purpose they were made with on their own. I really like how kind of general these ones can be, these two. So I tend to really use these the most and keep them mixed together in this bag. So those are the Mini Divvy Ghosts, and I think it's like Curiosities or something like that. But love those. I use those all the time, especially in fall. Alright. Next is the Lil Crypted, which I almost really kind of forgot to include in here because the bag it came with fits the book, so it makes it a larger size to keep it all together. So I don't tend to store this with my pocket decks, but it is a pocket deck. It comes in this cute tin, and it does come with cards you can keep with the deck that have little mini messages for each of these on it, if you wanted to just use the deck, but which I find I do quite often because I think the keywords are really, really great in this deck. I love this one. It's so cute. It's just fun. I love cryptids. I love learning about them, and the guidebook, the full guidebook in that bag, does do a really good job at kind of telling a bit of the story of each of these, because there's plenty I don't really know well. Oh, look at that unicorn card. I just love it. I love this deck so much. I love the illustrations. It was such a joy to follow along with this one. Is that a tear in my card? What did I do? Oh my gosh. I tore this card. How did I do that? You see that? It's like in the middle. Huh. Huh. Well, okay. That's an interesting surprise. What a bummer. Anyway, Lil Crypted Oracle. Ooh, I love this one. This is the little Forest Fae deck from Rockpool. Makes these a lot of the times, I think. I don't know, I think US Games does too. I'm a little confused on that front, not gonna lie. But I love this one. There's a lot of these kind of rectangular size decks around, but this is my favorite for sure. I've only really tried a few, but most of the time they are ones that kind of are just about the words, and it has like a pretty border that's all the same throughout. But I like that this one it is a bit more classic Oracle style, where we have different artwork on each card. There are all these different fairy characters. It's such a good little deck. I love this one so much. This has a real kind of house fairy feel to me. So I love using it, especially in the darker half of the year, because that's really, I lean more into that since, of course, I am mostly in my house whenever possible. So that is the Forest Fae Oracle. Next we have the Heart Align Affirmation Oracle. What a little treasure this deck is. It is an affirmation oracle, but I don't know. I don't know that I would necessarily... It is, but it's so different than any other affirmation oracle I have or have tried, because it really hits in a certain spot where it feels very much about healing, trauma healing, themes like that, where I feel like it's an affirmation deck that isn't there to necessarily make you feel good in the way of like glossing over. This feels very much like a deck that will more so affirm whatever it is you're feeling. Not kind of ask you to feel a different way, if that makes sense. And I love that about this deck so much. It just... I don't know, I feel like a lot of other people have described this better than I have, but it's such a comfort in a really, really positive and helpful way, I find. So I really love this one. That is the Heart Align Affirmations Oracle. Ooh, let's do another affirmation deck. This is the Marigold Mornings Affirmation, and I love the art style of this one. These are the backs, so gorgeous. It's this like 70s yellow and orange. I love it. I've had this one for quite a long time, but I'm pretty sure you could still get it on Etsy. That's where I got it, but I don't know. I think there's like a different edition at this point. I'm not positive. But this is a bit very much true affirmation. When you think of affirmations and kind of the standard way that looks, that's what this deck is, which I think there is such a time and place for something like this. I don't find that I need more than one, and this is just the one I've liked the most. I love the artwork. It's got a beautiful linen cardstock. I've actually gifted this to some friends who aren't, like, they don't read tarot. They probably did not have an oracle deck before that, but I find that this is one that, I don't know, it feels so universal. So I know I gifted it to a friend who is not in this realm at all, but she says she loves just like selecting a random one every day to keep on her desk, and it's that kind of vibe, you know? It's just a feel-good deck. I love it. I love the whole style of it. So this is the Marigold Mornings Oracle. Next is the Magical Child Oracle by the same creator as the Divine Muses. I'm so sorry, I'm forgetting. Oh, Marie Bento. It just came to me. It was on here, but it really, I swear, my brain remembered it. I love this little deck. It just has a cool feel to it. I love the keywords. I find this one to be really, really just usable, if that makes sense. I got this one used as well, and I really hesitated with it, because I was like, well, I have the Divine Muses, and I felt like that was what I was really going to connect with, but this is the one that I use probably way more than the other. I really, really enjoy this one. It's just a fun collage deck. Look at that, with Alice in Wonderland Tea Time. It's just so good. It's so good. So, that is the Magical Child Oracle. I love these zipper pouches, too. Next is the White Hair Wisdom Oracle. This is the same creators as the Magic Cottage, but this was the first one of theirs that I had, and I really enjoy this one, and I'm really pleased now to have this artwork in a full-sized oracle and in this pocket oracle, because this is one that really wasn't getting much use in my collection, because there was just a while where I didn't have an interest in using pocket decks in general, but I'm having a moment with them now and again, especially the oracles, so this has definitely started to get some more use. I think of the two, if someone was like, oh, you can only keep one, the Magic Cottage, but I love how we get the Sabbats in this deck. I like using them as altar cards for the Sabbats, so this one gets use in just like a different kind of way a lot of the times, where it'll be more so like altar cards or things like that, which totally has its use and reason for being around. So I do like this one. It is the White Hair Wisdom Oracle. Okay, next we've got the Gentle Chaos Pocket Oracle deck. It comes in an interesting box that I was not a fan of, and I ended up ripping it when I was trying to get the cards out. So I have it in a bag, and I've gotten rid of the box at this point. But this is a really, really cool little oracle deck. Truly, like, Gentle Chaos is the perfect word, where it has this really calming energy to it, but the things included in this are just very random seeming, but it's cool because it all connects to the creator, Thr Tarot. And I like this one, even if just to like see what comes up. It's really cool. And it's really, really nice quality. I will say, like, the box I wasn't a fan of, but the cards themselves are, like, I would believe this was an indie deck kind of thing, you know? It's really cool. So, that is the Gentle Chaos Pocket Oracle, and I'm pretty sure it's pretty inexpensive. Next, we've got, I'm forgetting your name, I know it's got the Weird of Sarah Howard. That's what it is. It does come in a really cute two-piece box, but I was one of the first orders or something where she gave these handmade bags, and I love everything about that bag, so I'm keeping it in the bag right now. But this is the other deck I have by Gabby Angus West. It's really cool. This is the latest edition that just came out this spring, summer. And we've got these key phrases that they're really interesting, really cool, and the guidebook is also really cool. I find that Gabby Angus West writes in this very poetic, writerly kind of way. where it's almost like telling a story, and you're kind of left to find the meaning for yourself within that story, which is really, really cool to have something that does that. Because sometimes I enjoy having decks that sort of have me pause in that kind of way. And I love this deck for that, especially in the summer. Her art just feels very summery to me because of all the bright colors and the water and beaches, things like that. So it's a cool one. That is the Weird of Sarah Howard. Alright, 3 more, my friends. Next we've got, okay, this is the, the Feel Your Chakras Christmas edition. Now, as I've already mentioned, I have many Feel Your Chakras editions. And perhaps one day I will do an Andy deck collection and just show all of those. But some of them are, like, we send each other, kind of practice copies a lot, so some of the ones I have are ones that were never ended up being official editions. So I wanted to show my latest official edition. This is one you can get right now, the Feel Your Chakras Christmas. It's so much fun. I love all of my Feel Your Chakras decks though, and I use them all. It just depends on the time of year. So this is the current one that's out. And I love it. I love it. So this is as it suggests, a chakra deck. But I don't find, I mean, I use it to an extent. I find I don't do like chakra readings, so pretty much I shuffle them all together like a regular oracle and just pull a card. But I do like seeing which chakra comes up. You know, like I do pay attention to that. It's on the card. So I do pay attention in that way, I should say, but this is such an awesome oracle. I've talked about this so many times. It's one that will call you out for certain. You have to be prepared for that, but it's always exactly what I need to hear. And this, just everything Feel Your Chakras is such a masterpiece of Andy's, I feel. And it's one of those where it's like every edition that comes out really has such a different energy, which fascinates me. And I love every single one. And again, it's like I've got a Feel Your Chakras for all different moods, all times of the year. It's so fun. And I love this one so much. I love having this Christmas edition. So that is the Feel Your Chakras Christmas edition. I've got 2 more to show today. First, the Earthbound Oracle, a classic. A very classic pocket oracle deck. The keywords are great. It does not have a guidebook, so pretty much what you see is what you get. It's an awesome, awesome clarifier. Again, that kind of secondary, narrow it down kind of card. I love it for that. I love the artwork. It's so cool. So cool. So yeah, I won't linger on this one too long because I'm sure we've seen it 100 times, but that is the Earthbound Oracle, and I love it. That one gets a lot of use. And last but not least in my pocket decks is the Feel Your Chakras Christmas is my newest technically, but we're counting that as the Feel Your Chakra. That's just the ambassador for today. So really my latest one of something completely new to me is the Sacred Threads Oracle by our very own Don Michelle. And this is such a cool deck. This is one, you can get it full size, you could get it pocket, but because I've been having this pocket oracle moment, I really wanted to try the pocket edition, and I'm so glad I did because it just functions in exactly the way I thought it would, where it really really helps to narrow down a wider message because it has these really beautiful keywords. They're just so good. And I do have the guidebook that she put up on Amazon, and I think that is fantastic as well. I think the way that she took the keyword and expanded on it, just, the guidebook, it gives you just kind of further keywords, but what I really love about it is there's journal prompts in there, which I will use a lot of the times as my tarot spread. But I love this one. I really love pairing it with the Mysteries of the Black Madonna. The things that feel very kind of, the decks I use for deity work, divine energy kind of work, that is an energy that feels so big to me. This deck really helps me kind of bring it down to earth, to everyday life kind of things, to really apply it to myself. It just works so perfectly for that, and it makes sense. It's the sacred threads. It does feel like it creates a thread, and I love it so much for that. So that is the Sacred Threads Oracle. For sure has become a fast favorite for me. And that, my friends, is the last pocket deck I have to show you. So next time, we will be getting into my Lenormand and playing cards, and then we will have our last video showing my special collections. So until then, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you again very soon.